I just want to welcome everyone to Motivational Sundays with Kevin and friends. This episode is brought to you by RMK Productions and the 10 United Network. Through the power of story, our mission is to uplift, inspire, share stories, and experience and perspectives using the power of our voice from teaching, learning, and modeling. Our purpose is hope, helping other people every day. This Sunday motivation was to bring my friends together in order to give our interpretation and perception based on motivational quotes that I had originally created, but we've expanded that and changed the platform to open it up to our friends. So each week going forward, one of our friends will send a quote. Hopefully we'll get it by midweek so I can post this early on. And we always ask everyone to bring a friend with them, and that's how we grow organically. And today our quote is brought to you by Mr. Bruce Hill. And the quote of the day, in a conversation for the day, I'm going to turn over the mic and the stage to you, Mr. Bruce Hill.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to serve. The quote for today is success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. And that, I assume, Samantha, you've heard that one before?
Nope, that's a new one for me.
Intriguing. Wonderful, wonderful. Kevin,
Yeah, that's a Tony Robbins thing, right?
I love Tony Robbins.
I won't make it up.
Yeah, because I have a friend that she is one of the lead speakers for Tony Robbins, and she always says that, and that's what she says that Tony leads. But I can almost guarantee you that most of the quotes that all of us use comes from the Bible. So we'll give Tony the credit for
Yeah. That sentence I'll agree with. There's so many, everything's created in the mind first. Where your mind goes, your life follows. Like, it all comes from one source. So I chose that quote very simply. A lot of times we try and figure it out. A lot of times we trial and error. A lot of times we think it's a new discovery, but almost all of the times, the success of someone else's life, of someone else's experience, leaves behind clues. And so I encourage the people I work with when I'm coaching entrepreneurs, when I'm teaching personal and professional development, I tell them, don't figure it out. Don't try and discover something that's already been discovered. Go find the clues left behind and copy them. In school, we were taught not to copy, right? Keep your eyes on your test. Don't talk to anyone on your left or your right. But when it comes to life, it's perfectly okay to copy someone. What do I mean by that? Let's say I wanted to be the best basketball player in the world. Well, it would make sense for me to copy Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Now, is his spouse going to be upset at me? Oh, Kobe did that first. No. Now, when I say copy, I mean imitate how they do things. I don't mean to take his name, take his jersey number, right? But I do mean to learn from what's tried and true. So years ago, it's 2014, I read a book in an article. It said the average CEO reads 60 books a year and attends 6 conferences. I said, I'd like to be a CEO. At the time, I thought those were the richest, most powerful people. And I said, that was my aspiration, however selfish that may be. So to coincide with this, a friend of mine calls me up and says, Bruce, actually it's my sons, Kevin.
All right.
He says, Bruce, we're going to read 12 books next year, one each month. So pick out your books. It's December of 2014. So 2015, we're going to read 12 books. Now, I don't know if you all are aware of this. The average American reads about 0.8 books a year. That means they're either not finishing books that they start, or it takes them 5 years to read 4 books. So 12 is already pretty ambitious. 12 is already above average. So I read one book. It's after Christmas. It's not quite January 1st. I'm not working, right? It's holiday. And I accidentally read one book. It was really good. Breeze through it. And I said, well, no one's going to be upset if I get a little head start. It's just reading. So January 1st rolls around. I read book number 2. Now, my birthday is the 15th. And somehow between the 1st and the 15th, I finished the 3rd book. And I started to look at my pace and my pattern. I said, wow, if I keep up this pace all year, I can read 60 books. And so the clue was that CEOs read 60 books at 6 conferences a year. That was the clue to their success. What I discovered, though, reading really isn't important. Learning is what's important. So whenever that was written, I imagine there weren't podcasts, maybe there wasn't YouTube, where we could go and talk to each other live, even though each of us is in a completely different space. So what I realized through the process of reading is that the discipline, the consistency, the goal management, the learning was what is important. Turning pages is a complete waste of time. Until you take what you've learned, wherever you get it. Some people like audiobooks, that's fine. Some people go to YouTube University, that's fine. Some people prefer a live class, that's fine. Wherever you get the learning, it is completely useless until you use it. They left the clues for you. One of my favorite games, right? It was the butler with the candlestick. But if you don't lay down that card, you can't win the game. If you have the clues and don't use them, you can't win the game. You will not achieve success in any reasonable amount of time. Maybe you accidentally succeed. I promise you that happens very rarely. But to increase our chances of success, we can follow the clues. So the clue that I learned, that discipline, the consistency, that goal setting, that continual habit of learning, that was the clue to their success. And that's when the phrase, the little saying makes sense, that all readers aren't leaders, but all leaders are readers. Because when you learn more, you can serve more. Martin Luther King said, we get 2 quotes for the price of 1. He said, everyone can be great because everyone can serve. And I learned that you take this knowledge and you use it, I serve better. I take this knowledge and share it, I can teach better. Now, all of a sudden, I've grown into the leader that I wanted to be. Not by any merit or accomplishment, but because of the amount of service I've provided, because I've become sharing what I've learned. I can pull everyone up around me. Now I'm starting to think like a CEO. And in the process, I discovered I really didn't care about the money or the power. Those are fun, I'm sure. What I discovered was that in the act of service, you can find fulfillment. Samantha, you understand that in what you do on a day-to-day basis. I won't explain that to you, to someone who lives it. So now I accidentally transformed my life and I found a different level of success because I followed the clues. So my lesson to share anyone within the sound of my voice is go find the clues. Someone's left out the clues. If you want to become a better player, go read Relentless by Tim Grover. Any sports player, read it. Any business person, maybe as well. If you want to build a better business, Jim Collins describes be a clockmaker and not a time teller in his book, Built to Last. He talks about in The Good to Great, how it takes the right people. He describes your life as the bus. It takes the right people on the bus in the right seats so everything moves forward smoothly. Go follow the clues. That book has over 5,000 research hours. But you can take those clues in just a few hundred pages. Please, please, please don't go and create a new path to success. Go find the clues. Follow the clues to success. I'm Bruce Hill and I'm done speaking.
All right. Success does leave clues. Samantha Foster. All right. First time first.
That was amazing.
All right.
So I'm just like pivoting or just kind of adding on to what Bruce was saying, and being older and living living my dream. You were just so on point with this. I want to go back to the books, right? What is amazing is some of the books that I read 3, 4, 5 years ago, now all of a sudden starting to make sense to me. As I'm actually in action, working it and seeing it manifesting out. I went to a Tony Robbins, going back to Tony Robbins, I went to his LA that back in 2018. I'm a fire walker. I got to walk on coals. And, him and even Master Stephen Coe was there. I got just like inundated with so much information, and I didn't understand it at that time. And I got a couple of his books to read, and I read them, but I quite wasn't living it yet because my level of awareness wasn't there. So I think that we need to be careful when we're reading books that they're in tune with our level of awareness, because now my level of awareness has risen, and now I get to go back and reread the same books that I've already read. And now I'm going to be able to glean more information off of those books. One of my other favorite authors is Napoleon Hill.
Yes, I read that book.
Oh my gosh.
Every year. And then The Master Key to Riches, The Laws of Success. And I'm just like, how many years ago were those written? Was it 30 something?
Yes.
It had to be 40 or 50. Well, I will tell you, those books are almost, both of them, maybe 80, 90 years old now.
Yeah. You're right. I think you're right.
On
They
the
were written
bestseller.
in 30, and they were published, I think, in the 40s. I think they finally got published. I think you're right. I'm sorry. I also please continue.
Right. I think the most important book that really it was an epiphany, if you will, that changed my entire life was Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. When I read that book, then everything, my whole life, and I'm looking around in my world and the people around me, all of a sudden everything fell into place. And that's when the true change happened for me, and that true level of awareness happened. So books need to be reread. Because as we're learning and as we're growing, we need to go back and reread some of those books so we can glean a higher information off of that, a different level, if you will. So that's what I wanted to say about the books. Absolutely, they're important, and putting them into practice. I'm doing the Napoleon Hill Mastermind, and I think they just started a group here in Phoenix that I'm going to go join as a bunch of business people. That mastermind is so important. And the importance of it, that you've got like-minded people, business people headed in the same direction, and you're pulling them together because, we're always greater in numbers, but we want to be very selective, and we're very focused on business and growing businesses. And so we're able to pull that mastermind group together and actually put that book into practice. So it does no good to read, just like you said, and not do. You got to do what the book says. And then as you do, that's when we truly learn.
All right. You just cost me money, Miss Samantha. I just bought the books, one of his books I have not read. Go ahead, Bruce.
Oh, wait, which one was that, Kevin?
Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Not read that.
That one has a very interesting story to it, not just in the book. I'm not sure which version you got, but the one I read Outwitting the Devil, but there was a second piece of it, like an analysis of it, that I also had in tandem. It was very interesting. She was kind of explaining some of the background of the book and expanding on the concepts. So I hope that's the version you grabbed, but I can't remember the name of the co-author.
Yeah, it's amazing that we talk about this. I know when you sent me the text of the two.
Sharon Lecter.
Got that book. Yep.
Okay.
You sent me the text of the two options for the quotes. Both of them were outstanding choices, and I chose the latter, and you presented the one that we're talking about today. And it's amazing that we talk about Napoleon Hill and Dale Carnegie. I remember the first book that I read that I actually enjoyed was How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Mm.
And the second was Think and Grow Rich. And it continued after that. And I realized that, you know, my class books, okay, I didn't enjoy reading. Those were things that I was being forced to read. And I said this at a commencement speech, and this was my first public speaking engagement for at a commencement of this past summer at a school in the Bronx for 8th graders. And I said, I heard a child say that she did not love to read. And my response was, you need to find a book that you love to read and then fall in love with reading. And when we talk about literacy and whatever, we need to, present our youth with books that relate to their circumstances, their environments, and be presented and have them have access to authors that look like us, which is the reason why I write, because I want to make a difference. You talk about, we see these motivational signs and pictures. We're talking about footprints in the sand. As I told my son when we were starting this business, my son always says, Dad, you overthink everything. He says, just do it. And I said, well, I got to make sure everything's right. And he says, Dad, how do you learn to swim? And I said, hire a coach. He goes, no, you get in the water. And you make up your mind, either you drown or you swim back to shore. He said, just do it. And Nike adapted that theory. And then I told my son, I said, I'm going to educate you. And this is going to piggyback up what Bruce said in the opening. People that are successful, the reason why they write books is because of those clues. They have already laid out the map of the things that they have had to overcome and those challenges. And they have now shown you the steps that make it easier for you to follow. It's not going to say that you're not going to have to overcome obstacles. I'm doing that with RMK Productions and my team are. We're learning something every day. And that's the reason why we're helping people every day. And we stay true to our mission, and we choose not to waver from that mission. But I also said, and I'm going to welcome to both of you, and I think I've probably said this to either one of you or both of you at some time, be the CEO of your R&D program. And my son says, well, what is that? I said, rip off and duplicate daily. All right. Someone has already laid the foundation for you. It is nothing wrong for you to follow those footsteps. There's nothing wrong for you to turn in the pages and making notes. I said, reach one, teach one. You don't go to a travel agent and a travel agent tells you that this is the place to go and how wonderful it is and how much fun you're going to have. And then you turn around and ask, have you been there? And she goes, no, I've always wanted to go there. You don't follow someone that's lost. You follow someone that has either GPS or knows where they're going to go. Because every destination has a beautiful surrounding around it. Every destination also is not perfect with the landscape. But what makes things perfect is your perspective and interpretation of what you're experiencing and what you're learning and what you adapt to your personality. So taking all the wonderful things that we have shared with those who are listening to Sunday Motivations with Kevin and Friends, I just want to tell you, we appreciate, one, you tuning in and listening. Two, we appreciate you sharing and subscribing to RMK Productions and Network on YouTube. And if you want more information, reach out to us either on our website at www.rmkproductions.net or info@rmkproductions.net. I want to thank everyone for waking up this Sunday, allowing us this time and this space to share. I ask you to bring a friend with you next Sunday. We're going to let Samantha, since she's brand new, we're going to go ahead and let her bring her bean of her knowledge. So you'll text me the quote for the day so I can post it early enough. And I ask everyone, use my hashtag. And my son already says it's way too long, but listen to the message. There's nothing too long when the story is short. Find 1,000 reasons to be kind to someone. As my grandfather said, and I'll say this every single time we do this, when you get to a point that you can help someone else, it is your duty. Reach one, teach one, and we're out. All right, that's in the broadcast. That was freaking amazing. Now, Samantha, I'm going to ask you to give a little teaser. So when we release this on the webpage of introducing yourself, talking about how great being a guest and inspiring people to join, each week or tune in. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the show. I'm going to ask Bruce to do it also, because I think I forgot last weekend. So Sam, this is your 30-second preview, this Sunday Motivations with Kevin and Friends. And you can tell everyone that you're going to be next week's feature quote. I don't know how to list this, but we're going to do it anyway. Go, Sam.
So I don't know my quote yet. I think it's going to be a Mother Teresa quote. So,
all right, just announce your name. Tell everyone that tune in that you'll be delivering the quote. Be surprised, be inspired, be the difference and the reason why things change. You'll say it your way. Go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Samantha Foster. I'm the CEO and the founder of Lifehouse Project. And next week is going to be amazing. I'm going to bring in a Mother Teresa quote, and I will be publishing it later. It's going to be a surprise, but this is all about being a change. This is about changing the world with your knowledge, with your wisdom, but being that leader, servant, and taking action. So I'm really excited about next week. Please join us for our conversation. And I'm sure that you're going to come away blessed as much as we're blessed to be here with you. Thank you.
All right. Brother Bruce, all right, since you were the featured friend today, tell everyone about your experience, introduce yourself, invite other people, especially the Blue family, to come in and join, be part of this. Let's grow, bring a guest next week. Bruce Hill, you have the floor.
Hey everyone, Bruce Hill with RMK Productions. So excited to share and to be shared with. We want that little piece, that little gem, that knowledge that's in your mind. We want to help you share it with other ones, because we always focus on impact over income. It's all about changing lives, and we need your help to do that. So join us Sunday mornings, 9 p.m. Eastern, on Talking with Kevin Friends.
All right. And I want to personally thank you. I am blessed to have so many wonderful people in my life, so many wonderful people with a call of action that will sacrifice, 30 minutes out of their Sunday morning. I know it's a day to sleep in, a day to rest, but I will say to you, I am humble to you. I appreciate you. I am blessed to have you guys in my life, and thank you.